Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. Listen, check this out. Oh, listen, check this out. I got this as a Christmas gift, and I never opened it up. I ran across it today. It's the Handy Book of Knots. The Handy Book of Knots. It says useful knots for every situation, indoors and out. Rope and handy book inside. Somebody thought that this would be a really great Christmas gift for me. And they were correct. Unfortunately, though, I pretty much left it up on the shelf until now. I'm going to be checking this out on cam, but not on this channel, no. After I make this video, I'm going to make another one, and it will be posted on my Mad Bad Voodoo channel because I get my balls busted seemingly daily for no longer posting much on that channel. So, I shall return with that. Oh, you know what? And before I let you guys go, no, I'm not even gonna let you go because I got something important politically to talk about. No, I don't want to do that. Hey, listen. Okay. This is, and you'll notice the person who sent this will recognize it. Krista Blade's gift, or prize, I should say, from her last contest entry that she did for Godzilla's Love Child. Listen, brother, as you know, her mail comes to my P.O. box. I picked it up, but if you watched her last video, you know she's all kinds of where the hell out these days. She's got things coming at her from all kinds of angles. She's a young girl, and she just right now feels really overwhelmed. I haven't had a chance to get this to her. She knows you sent it. And she appreciates it. She probably, most likely, I don't want to speak for her because I don't know what she's doing anymore, but she'll probably open it up on camera. I hope she opens it up on camera, but if not, know that she has it, know that she appreciates it, and for everybody that was entered into your contest, know that Godzilla's Love Child does mail out his prizes. So, anyway, listen, I'm going to put this aside too, because what I'm going to do, you know what? let's get Joe Boo. Hey, Joe Boo, sorry about not having you lit up there, brother, but Joe Boo, every now and again he likes to smoke one. He torches one up. Joe Boo has something to say about Woodward. As in Bernstein Woodward Bernstein, the guy that brought down a Republican president. I don't know how many of you are keeping up. I know that quite a few of you have told me in the past that you don't really watch much of the news anymore, and whatever info you do gets from me. Now, I'm a big fan of multiple sources, so I'm just saying. But let me tell you what's going on. Bob Woodward, who is a legend in the world of journalism, he is of the two that started the whole started the whole uncovering of the Watergate thing and followed it until its inevitable end where Richard Nixon bid farewell and left the White House via helicopter. He's in a pissing contest now with the Obama administration. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because it illustrates the difference between the original left-wing communist journalists like Woodward and Bernstein and the ones that are in authority today. The journalists that are out there today are not even remotely interested in making Barack Obama look bad. They're not even remotely interested in reporting anything negative about that administration. And it's interesting because Bob Woodward had asked some questions and basically was shut down, and he got pissy about that because, you know, I've got an ego the size of Mount Everest, and it really got ugly, and literally he accused the Obama administration of threatening him. That's right, threatening him. Now, had that been a Republican administration, every newswire on the planet would have been running wild with it. Let's say it was Bush's administration. Bush threatens, media or whatever. It would have been major, nonstop, 24-hour, 7 days a week news cycle. That's exactly what it would have been. Every news channel would have let off with that like a bomb. But because the the media today, the journalists that we, and I almost hate to use the term journalist, but the journalists that we have today are, for all intents and purposes, propaganda ministers for the Obama administration. They have, listen, the media has with the exception of Fox and some talk radio, the media has advocated its responsibility to the Constitution of the United States of America. It's that simple. It is that simple. And I don't know how anybody with two brain cells in their head could actually interpret it any differently. The fact of the matter is that the media today is shilling for Barack Obama. That administration can literally get away with murder, and I mean literally. Get away with murder. Boom. Bottom line. Get away with murder. And nobody's going to report it. Nobody's going to bust his balls. Well, like I said, with the exception of Fox. And people can say whatever they want about Fox News, and people can say whatever they want about, conservative talk radio. But they are the only ones on the planet right now speaking truth to power. It's literally. They're the only ones. And, you've got NPR, which is a left-wing, and which makes me sick because I got to be honest with you, the fact that my tax money goes to support them on any level, I don't care what percentage of their money comes from my tax money, it's too much. You've got PBS, same thing, literally, same thing. And then all the rest of them, and people can talk all the smack they want about Fox News and call it, faux news and bash on, you know what? Bottom line, they're the only opposition. Right now, we've got a media that, for all intents and purposes, is Pravda. Now, listen, I know and I realize that there's a whole lot of people that have not a clue, what I mean when I say Pravda. They just don't. They don't have a clue because they weren't taught about it. We've already covered this before. But for those of you who do not know what I'm talking about when I say Pravda, during the former Soviet Union, which in a lot of ways I miss because it did make the quote unquote free world a little more reasonable. But during the old Soviet Union, under the communist regime of Russia, they had a media outlet called Pravda. That was their state-sponsored or state-ran media outlet. And all the news was vetted by the Kremlin, which was the equivalent of their White House. And every little thing, every little word that was printed had to be approved. And I'll just use, I'll use Brezhnev as an example. So if the premier Brezhnev decided that, this was the way it was going to be, this was the story that was going to be told, right or wrong, made no difference to him. That was the story that was going to be told. The reporters, the journalists of the Soviet Union, and I mean, when I say Soviet Union, I'm talking all of the Soviet Union. That included Romania, Poland, all the Eastern Bloc countries, plus Russia. The journalists, they were lockstep. Nobody was reporting anything outside of that. Any real reporting about what went on inside of the Soviet Union came from outside of the Soviet Union. Your dissidents and people that had some kind of knowledge would report things that were going on. But as far as the media of Pravda, of the state-sponsored media of the Soviet Union, the communists, they didn't report any of it. Any of the truth. They only reported what they wanted people to know or how they wanted people to know it. So that's what we have now. We have a media in this country who is, for all intents and purposes, a state-sponsored media outlet. They're the propaganda wing for the Democratic Party, and especially, and I think it goes even deeper than that, the propaganda wing for Barack Obama. And the scary thing about that, this is the scariest thing about that. Whenever there's a coup, a coup d'etat, whenever there's a takeover of a government, the very first thing that they do is they take control of the media. That's what they do. Very first thing, it's coup d'etat 101. The first thing you do, if you're in a country where the people get their information from radio, the first thing you do is you take over the radio stations. If it's TV, first thing you do is take over the TV stations. or print, first thing you do is take over the newspapers. That's the way, that's the first thing you do. Now, of course, you've got to have help from the military, but, you know, who knows? I'm always shocked at how many liberals are in the military. Listen, of the general staff, I'm shocked at how many liberals we have that are running wild with stars on their shoulders. You know, so who knows? Who knows? All I do know is that in a free society, you must have a free and unbiased media, period. And when you're in a situation where the vast majority of the media, the vast majority of it, is shilling for the current administration, we got problems. We've got problems. Now listen to me. And I know a few liberals listen to me. A few liberals actually subscribe to my stuff, usually to get themselves worked up and bitch at me, but they do. Let's keep this real. Do you really think this is a good thing? Honestly, whether you believe in this liberal ideology or not, do you honestly believe that it's a good thing to have a media that is literally controlled by the White House? Do you think that's a good thing? I don't care who the administration is. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. It's not right. It's not healthy for our country. And the journalism schools, I don't think it's a big shock to anybody that they've literally been overran by communists. Communists. Now, I know a lot of the people who are listening to this that aren't of a certain age group are like, so what? So what? You guys need to pick up a history book. You need to pick up a history book. You need to talk to people who came from communist countries. You need to talk to people who used to live behind the Iron Curtain. They didn't build walls to keep people out. They kept people in. And that in itself should tell you all you need to know about the great communist experiment. Now, I'll be doing a book report pretty soon on Animal Farm. And I think that some of you will be very interested in it. And now, they used to make you read it at school. I don't know that they do anymore. Well, clearly they don't. Because, well, anyway. All right, we're running at 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Time for me to wrap this up. If you're interested in the handy book of knots, at some point here, fairly soon, I will be reviewing this on my Mad Bad Voodoo channel, so step on over there. Godzilla's Love Child, You Were All That in a Bag of Chips. And she will get her I believe they're sunglasses. She will get those. Just give her some time, brother. Anyway, listen, everybody, take care. See ya!